I like to have fun with my name. If you haven't figured that out, SHANanigans is going to be my book, and this story is called SHANsplaining. It's a story of when I was 10 years old and having an imagination. So here we go. SHANsplaining. Do you know that there are two parts to Michigan? Many people that I've crossed paths with around the USA and all over Europe and the UK did not know that there is a lower peninsula and an upper peninsula when it comes to the state of Michigan. I spent the early years of my life living in the upper peninsula in an area called Marquette, Michigan. That is not the mitten part of Michigan, but the other part closer to Canada that is shaped like a snowmobile. Speaking of snowmobiles, winters are long and brutal. Snow reaches the heights of a first-story window at times, and canceling of events in schools is a common factor due to Eskimo conditions. Being equipped with a creative imagination and living by my true colors is how I survived growing up in an area that had nothing much going on aside from the shifting four seasons. During the long, brutally cold winters, I dreaded taking my dog on walks, so I killed two birds with one stone. I would make sure she had a chance to go potty while I also had a chance to get some fun playtime in. I would dress up in all the snow gear looking like the little boy from the movie The Christmas Story in the scene where he was so bundled in his snowsuit that he could barely move. I'd grab my dog's leash and place it on her yellow lab-collared neck collar, and the two of us wobbled out of the house. I would head to the shed in my backyard and grab my plastic orange sled and my fishing pole with a handful of dog treats I placed in my snow pants pocket. I sat in the sled holding my dog's leash while I placed a sausage on the end of the fishing pole. She chased after the sausage that hung way past the front of the sled and over her head. I had a free sleigh ride and the neighbors had a free entertainment as my 10-year-old self and my 3-year-old yellow lab glided by their front windows in the appearance of Santa Claus and her one reindeer. Ho, ho, holy moly, we had some close calls with Carsey, and I didn't have much control of my dog and that out-of-control sausage hooked on the end of that floppy fishing pole. She chased that treat in all winding directions as it dangled on that loose rod. Yee-haw! When springtime approached, the muddy waters evolved, and it was time to pretend I had a real motorcycle. I was too young to ride a real one, so my flashy banana seat bicycle would have to suffice with a few added additions. My friends and I would grab a real motorcycle helmet from one of our houses. Keep in mind these helmets were adult size and way too big for our small heads. Next, we would find baseball cards and clip them onto our bicycles on the back wheels with a clothespin, creating a vroom vroom sound. I know some of you all can relate to that. And thinking about it, I could probably be making bank with some of those cards I wasted on that approach. We had the vroom vroom sound, the motorcycle helmets on our little heads, and our flashy banana seat bicycle tires pumped up and ready to cruise. Pedaling our way down to the local mini-mart 2 miles from our neighborhood, we had a determined mission to purchase Airhead candies. See, these were the days when $1 could be stretched big time. 10 candies for $1, not even tax. There was something so fun about Airhead candies. They were long-shaped, and my favorite were the red ones. You could place them in your mouth before chewing them and pretend you had a very long tongue, resembling the lead singer of the band Kiss. We would enter the store still wearing our motorcycle helmets and pretend we had actual motorcycles waiting for us outside the store. Sometimes we would say, no gas today for our bikes, just the candies, please. Summer was when I spent most of my time playing with androgynous Barbies in our wooden blue duplex shed behind our house. I had turned it into a playhouse. Looking back at that shed now, people in today's day spend lots of money to live in these sheds they call tiny homes. I had a tiny home in my backyard growing up. That's cool. In my experience, regular Barbies were super boring, so I would spice them up by cutting off all of their hair. Then I would remove their heads from their bodies and place the heads on a G.I. Joe. My upgraded Barbies were bald and short and had way too big of heads for their small new G.I. Joe bodies. I usually made my Barbies be boys and not girls. I never seemed to relate to playing a feminine part when it came to anything in life, even at an early age. That creative imagination kicked in while getting my Barbie time in as well. I would go the extra mile and make my new androgynous Barbies have boy parts, making fake penises out of toilet paper and scotch tape, then putting a pair of homemade paper pants on them to hide the goods. My mom found one time and it was awkward. Let me show you what they look like. Okay, I didn't put the fake penis on it, but you can get the idea. I'll hold on to her because I'm going to be using her. Okay, let's see. Fall would arrive, and after doing chores of raking the beautiful leaves, I would stir up some fun on our landline telephone. See, you could get away with much more growing up in the 80s before cell phones and caller ID existed. In the 80s, when telephones rang, you had 5 chances at picking it up before it would go to the answering machine, and then the other end could remain a mystery or reveal themselves. Often in my household, growing up, we would receive telephone calls from telemarketers, just like you all probably, and they would pronounce my last name, which is Provost, wrong. They would say Provost or Prevost. Here's a scenario of how I would fuck with them on the phone. I'm 10 years old. Phone rings. This is the phone, okay? This is me. This is me over here, and this is the telemarketer. Hello? Hi, can I please speak to Mrs. Provost? It's Provost, and no, she is in the shower. Oh, okay. Can I then please speak to Mr. Prevost? No, it's Provost, and he's actually in the shower with her. A different scenario of prank calling was calling Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut. Hello, this is Pizza Hut. How can I help you? Hello, I would like to order a medium-sized delivery boy with nothing on him, please. Oh, the many seasons of Michigan. Winter would approach again, as it does, and Shanta and her one reindeer will be ready to sleigh again.